Good morning, welcome to Mondays with Marthie. Today I want to talk to you about 3 things, but before I do that, please subscribe to my channel. So the first one is to be on time, the second one is what's in a name, and the third thing is people that don't understand your journey. So be on time, that's a pretty basic thing that shows your character, I think, and I have to use this speech for me because I'm always 5 minutes late. But it is a good thing to be on time and to try and show your respect in that way to other people around you. So that's one thing. It's like losing weight. I have to lose weight, I have to be on time and don't rush. But be on time is very important because it shows that you're reliable and that you're actually going to bring what you have to the table. So I would love to hear your opinion about that. So you can leave your comments in the bottom. So there's not more to say about it, you know. The one thing is if you lose opportunities, if you're not on time, and I think you lose people's respect as well. And I think it's also a culture thing in terms of, it depends on what your audience, who your audience is. For me, if I know it's senior people, I know they will always be a half an hour early because that's just how they are. They love to be early, they don't want to rush, and that's just part of the deal. So you have to be aware of that. So set your clock, set your timer, do what you need to do to make sure that you get on time. And then sometimes things change, and just to show your respect, to say, hey, I'm going to be late. Expect me 5 minutes later, but just to make a phone call, it just shows that you have good manners. And then the second thing is what's in a name. Now this week I was on a phone call trying to fix something. I don't know if it was internet or telephone line or something, and the lady at the end of the phone call told me, do you want to, and I was like, what? Do you want to, and it's like a line she's practiced so many times, but I can't hear what she's saying. And I thought, you know what? I know what it is. You have to sell something your boss told you to sell, which is perfectly normal. But the boss didn't give this much thought. Maybe the boss can pronounce it, but you cannot. That is why you will not sell whatever you're selling to me, because I cannot hear what you're saying. So, rule number 1, do not sell something you cannot pronounce. And if you cannot pronounce it, you have to fix that, because it will be forever the one green filter you cannot sell. So, that's what I realized. I once was part of an initiative. I still can't remember the name. Something in abundance. And it just didn't, man, I was trying to tell people, life in abundance or something like that, but it wasn't as easy as that. It was, I still can't remember it. And that's the pointer. If you can't remember the words of the title of the thing you're selling, and you can't pronounce it because your tongue trips over it, don't even go there. So I think the golden rule, when you think of something and a name for it, go check it out. Can you pronounce it? Not just look on it on paper, pronounce it. Can you tell 10 people what it is and they can repeat it back to you? Because if they can't, you cannot sell it. You have to change the name. I'm sorry. And this is something I learned with songwriting as well. If I have 100 songs, I will find that the songs with the best titles in terms of catchy, easy, speaks in the first 3 words, those songs are the ones that gets the most plays. So it's very interesting. You know, if I write songs for phone and I have 50 songs and somebody lands on that page and they're gonna have to pick one, guess which one they're gonna pick? Either the top one, alphabetically the A one, because that's usually at the top, or the one with the most catchy title, easiest to pronounce. So that's how I learned from all my productions I've done in the past. Women on Fire was the easiest to sell. People believe it, they understand it, they know what it means, even before I tell them. and then I can add layers. So I'm not struggling to give them the first concept. I can give them the layers with the next step, so I don't have to explain the title. Now that takes a lot of time. So yes, titles are very, very important, what's in the name. And then the third thing is people that don't understand your journey. I find that a lot of people think, oh, you must be working, you must be working, they must be working. But people that usually refer to that, it sounds funny if I say this, they're factory workers. They're part of a small piece of the bigger picture. So what they do is they fit screws, or they put something in a bottle, or they sign something in its next. You know, people that have a factory center mentality, it sounds awful, but what I'm trying to say is they don't see the full picture. If you are doing everything yourself, if you're an entrepreneur and you're wearing all the hats, you cannot just be the guy that puts it in the bottle or puts it in a box or signs the form. You have to know where it comes from, how it drops, and how it moves on. And that bigger picture takes a lot of time. And that small piece of work, yes, that needs to be done, is not the only thing that you can be busy with. That's when I find people say, oh, I just want to sing with you. I want to perform with you on stage. And I think, yes, it is great. I'd love for you to show your talent, but you must understand that this is such a small piece of what you have to do, that you have to understand that there's something that has to happen before you get on the stage and hold the microphone, and what happens after. After is just as important as before, because then you ride the wave and you put it down to a level where you can actually use it for next show. So it's very important to know that you have to see the full picture, and people don't understand the journey because they think it's just that little piece of getting on stage that's important, or doing the work that's important. They don't see where it comes from and how they fit in and where it goes and how you repeat that cycle. It's a cycle that goes around and around and around. So for me, that's important, is to know that there's people that don't understand the cycle, and you have to take that into consideration. But I get that often, why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Because people have a perception of what I'm doing and how it should look like, but they don't understand. I'm building a little empire, and I have to do all the things until I find the right people that can play in the team, and they make a difference and fit and make it help me. Because sometimes people that think they help you, they're not helping you, because they're giving you more work, because you have to check if they're doing everything. It's lots of work. So that's the thing you have to remember. Just know what you're busy with and where you're going and where you're coming from, because that's your journey, and people will sometimes have a very small perspective on what you're doing. So that is it for today. What's in a name? People that don't understand your journey, and to be on time. So see you next week. Enjoy your week, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 300. Yay! Oh, and Women on Fire is on the 9th of August. You have to get your tickets, because I want to get a second show in the afternoon, and I can do that before I sell my first 240 tickets. So, and somebody says I should be selling chili, and I will be selling wine. So it's getting big, so you have to be there.